Hey, we are back. Thanks for tuning into my YouTube channel, guys. I'm your niche coach, Alicia Lester, and today we are talking about if it hurts you, let it heal you. So today on Get Your Shit Together, I appreciate you all for tuning in. Click subscribe for me. I truly appreciate it. Share it, like it, send it to someone, tell someone to tune in. Shoot them a message, whatever it is. Even if you see a video that seemed like it may be meaningful to somebody else's life, by all means, shoot it to them. Ask them to subscribe. But even if they can't, you know what I'm saying, I appreciate them just being able to listen. Hopefully they'll be able to eventually subscribe and listen to many, many more. You guys can hit me up on social media. You can always go to my website, niche-coach.com. You can go to Facebook. My main page is Alicia Lester Brahma, all the craziness. And then you also get Niche Coach on Facebook, Niche Coach on Instagram, and author Alicia Lester on Instagram. So you guys definitely hit me up if you need spellings for absolutely anything. Leave a comment, and I will definitely put it back in the comments. That way you guys can all get what it is that you need. And thank you again. And again, you know, just talking about if it hurt you, let it heal you. I'm going to say some things today, and I'm going to talk about some things today. And all I ask is that if it hurt you, to let it heal you. And the reason I say that is because I want you to know that you have my word, that it's not coming from a negative space. It's not coming from a place of wanting to see you do bad or be hurt or be unhappy or be upset in any kind of way. Sometimes when people say things to you, the reason why it hurt is because you haven't healed. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the reason why it hurts is because you have not healed from those things. In relationships, you can be dating someone, or you can be married to someone, and they are not doing what you feel like they need to do or whatever, and you spend so much time trying to build him or her up, all for that person to leave you with the kids, leave you just stuck, period, just leave you and go off and have a life with someone else. That's because that person wasn't for you. Because anyone that would leave, now listen to me now, this is only if the person just up and left magically, you know what I'm saying? Not if you did anything or did something to warrant this kind of behavior or whatever. If that person simply left you or cheated and went on about their business, that person isn't for you. And you should probably stop chasing after something that's not for you. Struggle doesn't equal a great relationship. You know what I'm saying? Just because you are going through a hardship with someone, or just because maybe you waited for this person while they were incarcerated, or you waited for this person to finally grow up or get their stuff together, whatever, that doesn't make you girlfriend or wife of the year. It means that you put your life on hold to make sure that he got a chance to live the best of both worlds. And it's crazy. Okay? It's absolutely crazy. I'm just telling you that. It's crazy because your life is to be lived. You came in this world by yourself. You didn't come in the world with that person. So why should you have to put your life on hold because that person simply isn't ready yet? You have people that, okay, maybe the person made a mistake and went to prison, and that person got out. And that person went back. And then he got out. And then he went back. Each time you are standing there. Yeah, don't get me wrong. You are taking care of business and you are making it happen. You're taking care of the home and the kids and the cars and the family and all that kind of stuff. And you can't date. You stay by your phone because you don't want to miss the calls. You take time out of your day, your life, your schedule, your everything to make sure that you go and see. You cannot relocate because you are praying to God that when that person comes home, they are coming to you. You see where I'm going? All of these things take a little bit away. from your life. All of these things allow you to become complacent and stagnant and all that because you are waiting for something. And then sometimes not all the time, no, more often than not, that person will come home and have the absolute audacity to cheat or simply go and be with someone else. And so now you are very upset. You are enraged because I've done all of this and I waited and I put my life on hold and I this and I that and I this and I that. Guess what? That's your fault. It's your fault because no one asked you to do those things. No one made you, even if someone asked you to, no one made you do those things. I've heard women say, well, he has his friends watching me. Child, I wouldn't give a damn if his mama was watching me. They'd be watching you too. But I wouldn't give a damn because I am going to live my life. Some of you, the mamas put you in a position so you can go and do what they should be doing. You should be going to see your own child. You should be going to put money on your own child's books. You should be going to go make sure your own child has what he or she needs. Not me. I got your grandkids, or I got kids. I have a home. I have a family. I have a life. You had him, not me. But the mamas pump you up. Daughter-in-law, that's my daughter, honey. That is because the mama needs somebody in place of her because she's not finna go do all of that because she's tired of his shit. She's sick of it. She probably went through it with his daddy or a daddy or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you just get tired of it. Now, isn't that something? Now, don't that hurt? Because that person would have the audacity to leave you and then go and have that same have the life with someone else after you've built all these things, after you have put yourself on complete hold. Some of you have not gone on to have any more children. Some of you have not gone on to go back to school or go do any of these things that you would like to do because you have remained complacent because you are waiting for someone else to get their shit together. That's not the name of this broadcast. It is the name. It says get your shit together, not wait for them. You know? So that is punch in the gut number one. I am so sorry. I absolutely love you. It's coming from an amazingly good place because I want to see you do better, have more, and continue to thrive. There is nothing cute about somebody not wanting to be shit. So if that person chooses to not want to grow and whatever, shall you let them go on back and continue to bump their heads? You have children with that person, that's fine. You can be a father inside or outside. It don't matter. Whatever you want to do. Okay? When you have situations where, as a woman, we can become so bitter and so upset and so hurt behind things that has happened to us in our lives, in our past, not having our own parents there, not having, you know, the type of love and appreciation and acceptance that that we are looking for, that we will take that out on our partners. We will take that out on the person that we are with. That's a tough one because it's not that partner, that person's fault. Some of you grew up so different that that person would never understand where you're coming from or why you act like that or why you do what you do. Some of us can be in situations that are so, some of us grew up in such toxic situations that we don't know what normalcy look like. That is our normal. That has to be normal. It's not though. It's absolutely not normal. And what will happen is you will push off the person that's trying to love you the most because what appears normal to you is so goddamn foreign to them, it doesn't make any sense. So sometimes it's kind of hard when you have a person that didn't come from family and then you meet somebody that loves family. Sometimes that person don't know how to interact or they don't know how to act, or that person will then try to alienate you from your family because they don't know what that family dynamic looks like. You a mama's boy. You always where your mama at. You always this, that, and the other. I love a man that loves his mama. I really, truly, honestly do. And I love a mama that's fair but love her child. I really, really do. So sometimes don't be so envious that this person is a mama's boy or a daddy's girl or whatever. Go find your daddy. Okay? Go or if that's impossible, if that's not something that you can do, Try to understand. Just pay attention to the dynamic. Try to understand why this person depends on their father, why this person depends on their mother. It's something about mom that makes this person want to love her so much that, you know what I'm saying? Like, just try to think of that instead of being combative. Why you guys got to call your mama? Because that's his mama. Because I can't call mine. You know what I'm saying? Why you always got to call your daddy when something happened? Because your ass ain't out here changing the oil. Because you're not out here cutting the grass, so I got to figure out something. And let me tell you something. Young lady who always call your daddy to get you to cut your grass and change your oil, what you got this boy for? I ain't even going to say man. What do you have this boy for? Because ain't no reason in the world you should be calling your daddy for things that this man is doing. If this fool is driving your car and walking on your grass, he should be putting gas in it and cutting it. Period. You know what I'm saying? It's just certain things that I feel like you shouldn't have. Your father left you to be with him so you could be with this man. You left your father so you can be with this man. Not left him as in nothing crazy, but you know what I'm saying? You leave your parents' home so you can go off into the world to become a woman or a man or whatever you choose to do. You know what I'm saying? That's not to be going backwards. Not and you still got to call your daddy. Because now you're just over here playing with this little boy. And now this little boy is able to lay with you and hug on you and kiss on you and screw you. And for what? Because you're still calling your daddy. Silliness. Absolute silliness. Your parents should not be paying your bills if you are looking up at some man's face all day long. Y'all should be doing this thing together. If he is in your home and he is able to shit, shower, and shave. Let me say it again. If he is able to shit, shower, and shave in your home, he should be helping you. He should be helping you in some kind of capacity. I'm not saying he got to pay everything, but damn it, he needs to be doing something because he lives here. If you can shit, shower, and shave here more than 2 days a week, you live here. So you should be helping. If you have somebody there and you are covering everything and that person is just simply shit, showering, and shaving, baby, when they go turn that water on, it better not come on. Matter of fact, they shouldn't even be there. When they pull up in the driveway, you should be directing them back into traffic, telling them that they have to go. There's no reason that their keys should fit those locks in that door because you know why? They are not doing what they need to do to be there. Stop accepting less of yourself. Like that just don't make absolutely any sense. Do what you need to do to become a great woman. Do what you need to do to become a great mother. You got him in here eating up all your kids' snacks. And for what? If he's not putting none back in here. I don't give a damn how many stamps you could have bought or what else you could have done or all that kind of, I don't care about that. If he ain't bringing the stamps in there, if he ain't bringing the money in there to say, babe, here, put these towards the snacks. I ate the kids' cookies. Put this toward the cookies. You have to be doing something. Something. It's too many of us that just sit up and allow somebody to come in and lay up underneath you and you're not doing anything. All you have is an extra child. Stop allowing yourself to do that. Then that person can get on Facebook and they can rap song lyrics and they can say this and say that and they go out with their friends and do this and do that. And for what? For what? Listen to me. 40 years old. 40. I'm 40 years old. No man has ever dropped me off at work and took my car to go and do nothing. Because you know if they're doing something or if they're doing nothing. I'm going to say this again. There has been no man in my life that has dropped me off at work and taken my car to go and do nothing. Because what happens is when you do things like that, you run the risk of that person being late coming to pick you up, then you being late going to go pick up your child, and then your whole day is off. You cannot be late and you have not been doing anything. Okay? If you have my car all day, I should not have to come and I shouldn't have to pick the kids up. You should have already had them because you ain't been doing anything. You haven't been doing absolutely anything. Okay? Punch in the gut number 2. Stop allowing people to lay up underneath you and you doing everything for them because you want to keep them. Back in the day, women were kept. Okay? That's why they was able to have the babies and do whatever and all that kind of stuff. Honey, they not only were they kept, side chicks was in the background. The game to completely changed now, honey. Side chicks is in the forefront. They having babies. The babies is coming over. They playing with y'all babies and everybody just chilling and they're doing all kind of crazy stuff. They busting out windows and slashing tires and what are we doing here? What are we absolutely doing here? Cut it out. You are allowing these people to come in here and play all in your face like that. Stop doing that. Don't allow no man to come in and play in your face like that. Men, don't allow a woman to come in and play in your face like that. She done brought all these goddamn kids over here to your home and all your stuff and this is that and the other. And she ain't cooking, she ain't cleaning, she ain't picking up behind these kids. She ain't making, you better do everything. No. Honey, I hold everybody to the same goddamn standards. It's about respect. And that is a level playing field for me. Respect goes both ways. It goes for the man, it goes for the woman. Period. But you don't just come up in nobody's home. I don't care, man, woman, child, dog. It don't even matter. You don't just come up in anybody's home and don't have anything to bring with you other than your shit. That's a problem, honey, because you back all that up and you go the same way that you came in. I need you to take that same path on the way back out. Doesn't matter, you know. So those kinds of things are very, very important. Employees. When it comes to working a job and all of that, I know right now, there's some people that work, some people are not trying to work, all of that. I get it. Let me tell you how all that good money is going to run out that has been deposited into your accounts and all that kind of stuff. At some point, it runs out. We just went through a whole thing with the PPP loans and all that kind of stuff. Child, I don't care who got a PPP loan. It don't matter. I got a whole business, whole company, legit employees, crazy payroll, all that kind of stuff. Child, and life is still going on. You have to do what you have to do. But for those of you that got it, and maybe it was not in a, what I want to say, maybe you obtained it and you shouldn't have. That is neither here nor there. And honey, it is water under the bridge and money in your account. But I do want to say, I pray to God that everybody thought long and hard when doing so. Pay those bills off. Pay those things off. Do things that you need to do. Don't just stunt and don't just flash and do all that kind of stuff. Child, pay them bills off. That right there, to me, that speaks volumes. That right there, that is everything to me. Don't tell me that people dropped 10 in your account and you didn't pay off that $500 bill that you had. You know what I'm saying? Pay them people back, people that you may have owed. You know, all of that. I truly believe that when it comes to a thief, now this is just me, I could be wrong. When it comes to a thief, now I know that you shouldn't be stealing. I know that stealing is not a good thing. I know that it is frowned upon, and definitely in the Bible, that's something that you shouldn't do. I get all of that. But I truly believe that the Lord is a little bit more lenient on the thief that stole something to feed his or her family than he is the thief that stole something just to go and showboat and tease and flaunt and, you know what I'm saying, and flash all of this in people's faces just to say, this is what I have and you don't have it. Now, I think that the Lord is a little bit more lenient on the person that stole to go and feed their families, you know, and take care of business. Like, that's just me. I could be wrong, child. We all might be sitting there looking at hell together or whatever. We all might be sitting somewhere else looking together. I don't know. I just think that instead of being worried about what other people are doing with their time, their money, their whatever, all that kind of stuff, focus on if you were taking care of your bills, paying off things that need to be paid off, pay off daycare for a while, pay up car notes, pay on your rent, pay your mortgage, you know, those kinds of things. I would hate for you to just be able to come into something and then just blow it and all that. And I know some people are not used to having a substantial amount of money in their account at one time. I get it. I'm not saying that you have to do one thing over the other. I'm just saying that taking care of business, grown people now, I ain't talking to them young ones. I ain't talking to them young ones. Ball out. Do what it is that you need to do. Grown people with grown-up things and bills and children and all that kind of stuff. Take care of your business. Take care of your business. That way, if somebody has your name in their mouth, whatever they say, after they say your name, I need them to say, but she handled her business, though. He handled his business, though. That's just that on that. That's just a little punch in the gut number 3. That's all that is. I want to see you win. I want to see you succeed. I want to see you get these things off the ground that you need to, because if you got it once, you could get it again and again and again and again, as long as you put yourself in positions to be able to win. What else? Relationship with your parents. Having a relationship with your parents is extremely important. Some of us don't have ours anymore. So you have to make sure that you are doing what it takes to be an obedient child. Now, I'm not here to preach to absolutely anybody, but common sense is if you treat your mama like shit, chances are your kid's going to treat you like shit. So all that rah-rah that you like to do, all that talking crazy and flipping out and all that kind of stuff, that child is watching every single thing that you do. That child is watching every single thing that you say. And he or she will one day buck up at you too. Now, I know you feeling like, oh, I'll knock them back down. That's fine, but that's a whole lot of knocking, honey, because that's young strength. And your old ass is going to get knocked out one good day because you have allowed this child to watch you act in such a way for so long. Now they're just simply using you on you. Full circle. Full circle. So pay attention to those things. The way you talk to your own parents, the way you respond to your own parents, the disrespectful manner in which you speak to your own parents. That child will one day grow up and that child will see. They will either start talking to your parents like that or they'll start talking to you like that. And as soon as you try to check them, they'll say, well, you do it. Well, you did it. Well, you act like that. Well, you say that. Now you really want to hit them because now they called you out. So pay attention to your parenting. Pay attention to who you are as a parent. Nobody is perfect. Nobody's perfect at all. If you're the kind of parent, if you whoop ass, whoop ass. If you yell, whatever it is that you do. But you have to make sure, though, that what you are doing, you are prepared for the repercussions. And you are prepared for whatever consequences come along with that. Pay attention to it. Talk to these kids. Listen to these kids. Some of these kids really be having things to say. Some of these kids really be having a lot to discuss. This generation, they're wiser, but they're weaker. So some things that we talk to them about or we say to them, they're not gathering it the same way. It's not just, they can't just take it to the chin the way that we did. Some of these kids are really, really broken in places and they're so fragile in certain places. You have moms that are talking crazy to boys and talking to them any kind of way. And that boy is simply hurting because that boy needs a father. That boy needs somebody there. Just because you don't put this little man in his life don't make him a father, because sometimes 9 times out of 10, that man is more there for you than he is for those children. He didn't sign up to be a role model to your son. You just kind of put him in that position because he was there. So pay attention to the role model that you want him to be. Is he doing that? Is he too busy shut up and locked up in your room that he's not paying attention? He's not outside throwing around a ball with your son. He's not interested in parent-teacher conferences. He's not interested in what you have going on over here with your kids because he's solely there for you. Pay attention to those things. Like, that is super, super important. Don't you ever want somebody in your life so bad that you miss all the other signs and you miss all the other stuff. You need a person in your life that's going to love you no matter what, and that's going to also love the extension of you, which is your children. You have to have that. Anything else? Playing in each other's faces. That's all it is. And those kids are hurting by it because those kids see this person coming and going. Quick story. I had a guy one time, my son may have been about 3 years old, and he came over to my home. I was staying with my mom at the time, and he came over and he had a big bag of candy. And so I let him in the back door. I let him in and he went downstairs. And so my son came in and my son was like, I said, Anthony's downstairs. And so he was just like, oh, okay. So my son goes downstairs where Anthony's at. Now I see Anthony with a bag of candy in his hand. I just kind of glanced at it before I told him, you can go downstairs and wait. I'll be ready in a moment. I go back up the stairs. Now, just in my mind, even though I wasn't even thinking about the candy, but in my mind, common sense, surely you'll give my son some. Even if you don't know if he can have any, you'll give him some, or you'll say, go ask your mom if you can have some. Anyway, I get my shoes, I get my bag, I go downstairs so I can bring my son back upstairs to be with my mom. And my son was crying and he was sad. And I said, what's wrong? And he said, him won't give me no candy. I said, what now? He said, him won't give me no candy. And he had his head down. And Fool was sitting on the couch and he was unwrapping some candy. And I said, did my son ask you for some candy? And he said, yeah. I said, and you didn't give him any? No, I don't be just giving people kids, you know what I'm saying, candy. I said, oh no, it was okay. I mean, I'm like he really didn't. And so then I said something else and he just kind of like, I mean, he can have some or he can, no. Listen to me, ladies. We didn't go out that house. I took them shoes off. I put that purse down. I made him leave. He was like, really? Like, that's how you just gonna, so we're not gonna talk about it. We're not gonna, like, that's it. I needed my son to know in that moment. It wasn't about the candy. It was about me always choosing him and me always making sure that no one in this world can mistreat him in my presence. No one. And I also needed food to know that this is a child. You came to his home with something. Even if you didn't know for sure if he could have any, you say, hey, little man, go ask your mom to see if you can have some candy. Or you simply don't bring it in the home at all. You know, kind of simple math, simple science. And so I said these exact words to him. I said, I can't wait until the day you have your own child. And someone does that to your child and eats in front of him or her. Man, you tripping. He left. We never hung out. I would see him in passing, see him at the club, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And I just keep it moving. And that was it. I didn't feel like I overreacted. I didn't feel like, you know what I'm saying? I felt like my son needed to know that mama was always there and always present if he needed me, you know what I'm saying, and for whatever he needed me for. And so, y'all, I kid you not, about 10, 15 years later, I see him. I see him out. And so he's like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, I'm good. How are you? So he was like, I'm fine. He was like, I got a son. And I was like, oh, shit, you know what I'm saying? That's good. You know, congratulations or whatever. So he was like, hey, I know you're going to think I'm crazy. I already know. But do you remember that? Remember when we were supposed to go out? And I was like, yeah. And he said, I get it. I absolutely get it. He said, and you told me too that I would get it once I had a child, this, that, and the other. I said, because by any means necessary, you're going to protect that child. He said, I was just being selfish, you know what I'm saying? I ain't had no kids, Alicia, so I ain't really know, you know what I'm saying? And I get all of that. But I also needed you to understand and know my stance as a mother. I'm going to protect mine. I'm going to make sure mine is good. I don't eat in front of any kids. Honey, I give all y'all kids candy. I hope they ain't got no damn allergy. I'm so sorry. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just me. I'm not, if I don't have enough, I'm not bringing it in. My kids can't bring it in. All of that. I make sure that I show up for my kids every single time, and yours too. So, you know, so these little punches that I'm giving y'all, I just want you to know, maybe some of you are not aware. So maybe some of you don't really pay attention to the little things, but I want you to, because these are the things that your children will never, ever forget. They will never, ever forget you making sure that this man was okay and they wasn't. And I'm not talking in terms of, I always see these memes of, you know, whose plate do you fix first? Since before I could even remember, my grandmother always made my grandfather's plate first. But it wasn't because it wasn't any food for us. He was an adult, you know what I'm saying? That was just it. So it wasn't about making the kids. 9 times out of 10, we probably wasted the food, didn't eat it or whatever. But I'm going to tell you one thing. You always make sure the head of that household eats, because the head of that household is the person that is doing the most. That's the person that is making sure that this home is able to run and do what it is that it needs to do. If he ain't got no food, how the hell he gonna be strong enough to get out there and make it happen for you? You know what I'm saying? So you always make sure. So it's not about loving him more or this, that, and the other. Child, it's enough love to go around. But you will recognize that the head of that table is the person that is being the head of the home. The reason why so many of y'all is making y'all kids plates first, and the neighbors and the friends and the homegirls and all that before the man, is because that man is not simply doing what the man needs to do to be a man. He doesn't need to be there then. He absolutely does not need to be there, because if he wasn't the reason that the food is on the table, yeah, hell, he just kind of fall in line and eat whenever he can, I guess. So that makes sense to me. That absolutely makes sense to me. So no, he got it. Matter of fact, he probably should sit at the kid table with the little kids, because he ain't buy shit. He ain't do it. But you letting them sit there. You letting them sit there. You letting them lay with you. You letting them lick on you. Cut it out. There's no reason to have someone that is not doing their part in your life, guys. None whatsoever. None whatsoever. Step parents. Step parents, step parents, step parents. I'm talking to the parents and the step parents. Let me tell you something. If you sign up to be in a relationship with someone and they had children before you, you are to love and respect those children also. Okay? I'm not saying you got to be their mama. Hopefully they have a mama. But in the event that those children come to your home, you are to treat those kids with the utmost love and respect. any of my bonus babies, honey, I probably damn near treated them better than I would treat my own, just because I need you to go back home the same way that your mama sent you. And I mean that. I think that that is very, very important. You don't make a difference in between children. Everybody, if I tell one to sit down, child, all y'all got to sit down. That's it. Everybody. If I tell one of y'all to come get some candy, I better have enough for everybody, because what I will not do is allow my kids to have something and the other ones don't. If it's one game controller, child, then ain't nobody playing a game today. Okay? If it's one ball, everybody better kick it around and get a turn. That is what you are supposed to do. That is what you are supposed to do. It's not about always having to buy things and gift things. And it's not even about that. That's just the kind of person that I am. But it's not even about that. It's about the love and respect that you show to that person. It's about respecting boundaries. You have to respect boundaries when it comes to that other parent. It's always a parent that kind of feels like, you know, ooh, this other woman is around my child, or this other man is around my child. So you have to respect those boundaries, and you have to respect those children and all of that. I know one of my bonus babies, when she was really, really young, she just had a diaper rash, just a normal diaper rash that all kids get. But when she came to the house, you know what I'm saying, I changed her and I noticed that she had a diaper rash. I immediately messaged mom and dad. Well, dad was there, but I immediately messaged mom to let mom know that there was a rash and this, that, and the other. Mom had already sent cream to be put on it and all kind of stuff. But I just wanted mom to know and to be aware that this is what's going on and this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Because I want this child to feel comfortable, and I want mom to feel comfortable with the child being in my care. You know what I'm saying? So those kinds of things are very, very important. You don't just take it upon yourself to be like, oh my God, this baby, you don't do all of that. You don't do all that. That's not your place. That's not it. That's not it at all. And I don't just wipe things or put things on kids without a person's permission or consent. I have extremely dry skin. So, and I have eczema. So I don't want somebody just wiping things on me or my kids or anything like that. So I had to make sure that things were ran past mom first before we even did that. Mom acknowledged it. She understood. And that's a mutual respect. That's a level of respect. There's already a level of, you are changing my child. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted that person to know that when I change, this is what it was. And this is, this is what I did. And boom, take responsibility, accountability, all that kind of stuff. Those are things that you have to do, because you have to be able to let parents know that I'm here for your child. I'm not just here for the man. I'm here for your child too, because those children were here before. Don't you ever let a woman get in your ear, or don't you ever let a man get in your ear and make you push your other kids off to the side, or make your, or like your other kids are not important. I ask my husband every single time about updates and how the kids are and what's going on and this is that and the other and all of that. And he'll share with me different things, photos and all that kind of stuff. I actively want to know these things, because these children are an extension of him. If they go through something, if they whatever, I've learned to, it has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with the parents and the child, and that's it. That child is thriving and growing and glowing, and that's what you want for all of your children to do. But when you have situations where a woman can say, those kids can't come over here, those kids can't be, you can't go pick those kids up, you can't go buy those kids, don't you ever. I feel like it is extreme disrespect when you do things like that. It's not okay. It is not acceptable. You don't want anybody treating your kids like that, so you don't treat anybody else's kids like that. Full circle. Life is full circle. Pay attention to the way that you are treating other people's children, because your children will one day be off into this world by themselves. And it may not come right now, but you just never know how it may hit at some point. So you got to think about those things. Don't ever go into it with selfish eyes or or feeling or having selfish ways. Because if that situation is too much for you, then you need to remove yourself from the situation. One of our kids actually live with us full time. And in him living with us full time, there is never a time that you would ever hear his mother being discussed in a negative way. I encourage all relationships. I encourage all situations. I make sure that there's you are a phone call, you are checking up, you are doing this, you are doing that. You know what I'm saying? Your mother is never spoken of negatively in this home. period. That is by the son, that is by the father, or by myself, or anything like that at all. We lift up. We're not tearing anybody down, okay? Because that is still somebody's parent at the end of the day. Period. So, you know, you just have to think about these kinds of things. So I just kind of threw a few of them out there that just be kind of grinding my gears a little bit. But I thank you guys for tuning in. I thank you guys for always watching and always being super supportive. Click subscribe. Continue to get all of these notifications of all of this goodness that I got coming your way. I appreciate you all. Continue to do what you got to do. Continue to get your shit together.